Today we will be discussing about projection formulas of stereoisomers and few rules for exchanging the ligands. So first of all, what do we mean by projection formulas? So these are the formulas that to be used to represent molecules having three-dimensional structures. It may be chiral, it may be achiral on a two-dimensional surface, that is your paper, your blackboard, etc. So whenever we are considering about any chiral or achiral molecules, those having three-dimensional structures, if we do want to represent it in our 2D plane, then we have to use the projection formulas. By that, by helping these projection formulas, we can represent the three-dimensional structures of that type of molecules on 2D planes. So these are of 5 types. First of all, it is flying wedge projection formula or three-dimensional representation. Second one is our Fisher projection formulas. Third one is our Shawhorst projection formulas. Fourth one is our Newman projection formulas, and the last one is our zigzag projection formulas. So I am coming one by one. Flying wedge or 3D representation. To represent the chiral or achiral molecules on the 2D plane, we need to use for the flying wedge or 3D representation 3 types of bonds. Ordinary lines. So that means these type of bonds are in the plane of the paper or in the plane of the blackboard. Second one is solid wedge lines, this type of lines, thick ones. That means the bonds are above the plane of the paper. So, and the last one is hashed wedge or broken line. That means this type of bonds are in the below of the plane of the paper. So, this is for example a lactic acid where the COOH or carboxylic group is in the plane of the paper, as it is the simple line, normal lines. CH3 is also on the plane of the paper, but the OH group, hydroxyl group, is below the plane of the paper, as it is attached with a hashed bond. Shaded wedge, hashed wedge bonds. It is solid wedge bonds. So the hydrogen is above the plane of the paper. So by that way we can represent the flying wedge representation or three-dimensional representation. Our next is Fisher projection formula. What is that? The structures of three-dimensional chiral molecules can be represented with two-dimensional formulas. Two-dimensional formulas, by that way we have got that formula is actually the projection formula. The chiral carbon lies in the plane of the paper of that molecule which we will be considering for the representation. These are 4 bonds. 2 vertical bonds, that means they are pointing away from the viewer. 2 horizontal lines, that means they are pointing towards the viewer, and as a whole the molecule is looking like a cross. For example, again I have taken the example of lactic acid. In the previous slide we have shown that the lactic acid can be represented as the flying wedge projection formula in that way, where the OH is below the plane of the paper, hydrogen is above the plane of the paper, and COH and CH3 are in the plane of the paper. So from this, how can we transform to Fisher projection formula? The same lactic acid, we have to represent it or transfer it from this way to this. So first of all, we have to identify that center from this angle, where the right hand side is the below the plane of the paper and the left hand side atom is above the plane of the paper. So if we view from this way, from this angle, then what will we see? We will see that the OH hydroxyl group is at our right hand side. The hydrogen is at our left hand side. So first of all, hydrogen is at the left hand side, OH as it is at the right hand side. So at the same way, COH or carboxyl group will be at the upward side and the CH3 group is at the downward side. So as a whole, the compound will be look like a cross where the hydrogen is at left side, OH group is at right hand side, COH group is at upward and CH3 group is downward. Next is our Shawhorst projection formula. What is that? It provides a graphic three-dimensional perspective pictures used to specify a conformation. So by that way, we can specify any conformation of any compounds. That shows a spatial relation between two adjacent carbon. So one more condition is it should have two adjacent carbon. Here the bonds between two carbon, the bonds is represented or drawn as diagonally. Along with it, as well as it with slightly elongated. The other bonds shown by, as is general, normal lines, where the free rotation about that two adjacent carbon, it may be possible. It is allowed that free rotation about the two carbon. Those are attached with each other by a single bond. Three groups attached to one carbon, that means first carbon, may be rotated with respect to the three groups attached to another carbon. So as well as we have considered the two carbon centered molecule, first carbon and last carbon. So front carbon and the last carbon, that means if the first carbon is attached with three groups, it may be rotated due to the single bond which is attached with another carbon containing another three groups. The three groups can be rotated with respect to the three groups attached with the other carbon.